Just 4 games remaining on the season for your 2024 version of the New England Patriots. And for a team that is coming off a bye and hasn't played a football game in 10 days, holy smokes, is there news galore. We've got players returning from injured reserve. We've got players being signed for competition. We've got players just flat out getting released. Plus, the former head coach may be heading back to school, coach in college, and the current head coach may be coaching for his job. Is there any truth to any of it? Does any of it make sense? We're not sure, but that's why we're here for you. You got your old pals, Nick Fitzy Stevens, and of course, from WEEI Afternoons, Andy Jumbo Hart, with you to try to make sense of it over the next half hour or so on the latest and always greatest edition of Six Rings and Football Things, brought to you by WEEI, Odyssey, and 2400 Sports. Well, it's been a minute since we last connected on all things Patriots. Hart, where you at with all this?
Well, the good news is I can bitch about the Patriots and not the Red Sox on this podcast because I'll save that for my afternoon show. I don't know. There's a lot going on. You touched, there's two storylines here, both involving head coaches, the last two head coaches of the New England Patriots. So I think we should, out of respect, start with the actual head coach of the Patriots, Gerard Mayo.
Okay.
He does actually still work for this team. Well, for now, if you believe Greg Bedard.
So is there any, I think that's what people want to hear from you. Is there any validity to that? Do you think this is a legitimate report?
I do. Well, I don't even think it was really a report. It was sort of stating the obvious, in my opinion. It basically said, if Robert Kraft decided he made a horrible mistake, he would rectify the situation. Okay. And OJ wrote a big book called If I Did It, right? Like if you could put if in front of anything. If I had the opportunity, I would be happy to do dirty things with Halle Berry or whatever, but that doesn't mean it's a report. That doesn't mean there's any validity to it.
Right.
So what I've been told, or my understanding, let's just go with that. My understanding is Gerard Mayo is going to be back, and there will be significant changes on the coaching staff. And to me, those conversations are already being had, because my understanding is sort of Robert understands the error in his ways. And I think what that means is not necessarily that his gut is wrong about what Gerard Mayo could be someday, but how they deployed Gerard Mayo in the 2024 Patriots structure, coaching staff, and all of that. Yes. And I think there are a lot of conversations being had behind closed doors. And by the way, my guess is some of those conversations do not include Gerard Mayo. They include more Kraft level executives, like, how do we fix this in and around Gerard? And I think that's going to be the execution. She doesn't hate visors. You don't know that. And I'm keeping it on, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay. We learned so much with so little already done in the program. So I'm with you. That's where I am with all of this as well. I can't for the life of me see the Patriots doing what far too many people on social media, on the airwaves, and wherever you can catch up and talk Pats, dismissing Gerard Mayo after 1 year, saying, you obviously weren't cut out for this. They did. I think whenever you need a first and fresh take, you should get it from Six Rings. We were the first place in town, correct me if I'm wrong, that was elaborating over how the organization may have done Gerard Mayo dirty by not surrounding him, by establishing a stronger core of coaches and surrounding him with a more experienced staff that could help for his shortcomings. Of course, there would be turbulence. Of course, there would be bumps along the way. Of course, he would crap the bed at times. He doesn't know what he doesn't know about football. You can't go from literally the greatest, most fulfilling football mind to this naive rookie coach's way and say, hey, we knew how to do everything, to now we have no idea how to do it all over again. Like that's nonsense. And they also need to loosen the reins on him a little bit too, but that will only come, I guess, when they surround him with smarter, greater football minds.
And my response, so I had someone describe Robert as being naive, because Robert's previous experiences with head coaches, they all came with basically probably what Bill handed North Carolina, like binders with, 400 pages of plans on what they were going to do organizationally. And Robert was, quote, naive that this wouldn't be the same thing. Well, I wouldn't say naive. I'd say complicit. You hired a guy who'd never been a coordinator. has been a coach 5 years, has never left your building in any form or fashion, had never seen the world, and you expected him to hit the ground like Bill Belichick or Pete Carroll, who had already been NFL head coaches, had already failed, had bounced around organizations, had just a world of NFL experiences and mistakes that had been made on the dimes of others. So that they got to you, maybe they were more prepared, right? Well, if you thought you were going to get anything near that from Gerard Mayo, that's a you. This reminds me of Bill and Matt Patricia. Like, this is more on the crafts than it is than Gerard Mayo. Gerard Mayo, to me, is exactly what you should have expected. A very inexperienced green coach who is learning on the fly.
Yep.
And by the way, he's got 3 wins and he's got 5 one-score losses. The wheels have not fallen off.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that graphic the other day that there was that infographic that it said, let's flip all of the 1-score games the other way for the team. Like the Patriots
pick number 1 overall, I think, or whatever.
Right. And the Patriots would be in the playoff hunt.
And that's NFL football. It comes down to 1 scores, but I do not, even for all his faults and the things, you have Gerard Mayo, who's never coached. You have arguably the worst roster in football, which includes no offensive line, no wide receivers, and a rookie quarterback.
That's not Andy. That's not arguable.
Okay. No arguing here. And a coaching staff with an offensive coordinator who's never really done the job. He did it 1 year, 15 years ago kind of thing. And a defensive coordinator who's never done the job. And you're surprised that no talent, no coaching, no wins. Isn't that how it works? And yet you're going to fire Gerard Mayo? Like, this makes no sense to me, this idea of firing him. Changes have to be made. Improvements need to be made. And he is very adamant he will get a year 2 coaching jump and he'll be a much better coach in year 2. I believe him. Good enough? No, not so sure. I have no idea. And when they bring in T. Higgins and when they bring in Garrett Bowles and when they trade for Micah Parsons and then they still don't win games, then I'm open to the conversation of Gerard Mayo not being the right man for this job. But right now, you made your bed. Go lie in it.
How could you have properly decided how you feel about Gerard Mayo 13 games into his rookie season, 2/3 of which were with a rookie quarterback, an offensive coordinator who was basically doing the job for the first time on his own, a defensive coordinator who's so young he doesn't know what he doesn't know, coming off of coaching the defensive line. Like you said, the roster in shambles, no elite talent anywhere except under center and at cornerback. It's a mess. They have not given him a proper forum to prove himself. He deserves at least 1 more year. And I do agree. He's not God, it's like people think Gerard Mayo is some sort of bumbling fool or an idiot. This is not a clown show operation. Is it seamless? No. Is it as buttoned up, professional, and prepared as it used to be? No. Have they bottomed out? I hope so. Do they have 4? We'll see. We'll find out. Do they have 4 games available to them to prove that they know that they can, that they're getting the most out of what they can with what they have? That's what the home stretch about the final 4 games is to me. A chance for Mayo to prove that he can, this is the most that he can get out of what he has, and that people are legitimately coaching for their jobs around him. I don't think there's any chance in the world Gerard Mayo gets dismissed unless the team turns on itself to such a degree that there's infighting, more bad social media. Everyone else there needs a job as well. Like, how, if the rest of the team performs worse than they have, save for Drake May during the first 13 games prior to the bye over these final 4 games, you could be looking at not only just a roster refresh, people just not getting NFL jobs anywhere else, wherever they go to play next year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, between young players, overpaid players, practice squad pickups, every one of these guys should absolutely, even if they're just selfish a-holes, should be playing for themselves, to put it on tape for the next GM, the next head coach, the next team, whatever it may be, or to at least try to prove, because we got to assume 40% of this roster turns over, 50% of this roster. I mean, I don't know what the number is. They could just be trying to prove that they want to be in that Gillette Stadium locker room and they want to make it to that new fancy training facility they're going to build outside the stadium, like be here long term. And other than Drake May and Christian Gonzalez, which are obvious keepers, and then a couple You can't move on from Mike Onwenu types and, a
Right.
Hunter Henry and a few of those. The rest of the roster, the other 45 guys, you should be in prove it mode because you have a lot to prove and a month to do it in terms of what your future is. Absolutely.
Jalen Polk, you need to prove that you were a slow starter in college. I was reading the slow starter in college story today in the Boston Globe, and he feels like he can start to turn things around here as well. Okay, you know what? How about double digits in catches, no drops, and no pre-snap penalties between now and January 5th? Javon Baker said, as he told to Mass Live, it's all starting to come together for him. Okay, well, guess what? KJ Osborne is going to go catch passes for the Texans or for the Chiefs or for the Colts or for the Eagles or the Commanders, wherever. Or maybe he'll go back to Minnesota. Fine. That gives Javon Baker an opportunity to prove he belongs on an NFL roster. The rest of everybody is in audition mode right now. Yeah, the number of people I can say are guaranteed to be back next year has gotten smaller by the week. Legitimately, I don't think after Layden Robinson and maybe Javon Baker, I don't know if any of the draft picks are guaranteed to come back next year. I don't know if anyone on the offensive line, and that could even include David Andrews because he's a 10-year veteran at this point, is guaranteed to come back. I don't know who on the defensive line, except for Christian Barmore, is guaranteed to come back next year.
I mean, he's guaranteed to come back, but I don't, if I had to use like a keeper spot on him, I don't know if I'm excited.
This is a bit of a wash year for him in a lot of ways, I guess.
We'll see.
But maybe we'll see a different Christian Barmore starting Sunday out in the desert. Maybe the bye week and the extra time to tune up his game. Maybe that was it. Maybe the 3 games we saw him in were his preseason, Andy. And now he's ready to come out there and start being a disruptive force along the line. Anyway, long and short of it, maybe there's 10 guys I would guarantee a spot. Otherwise.
Okay, go ahead. Name them. I want 10.
Maybe. I said maybe. Bryce Behringer.
Even him, he's a punter.
He's a good punter, damn it.
He's good.
He's the only Pro Bowl vote getter we've got.
I don't even think he's as great as we try to make him out to be. He's just the king of the dip poos.
I think he's pretty good. But
he's pretty good.
One thing we should. All right, Brendan Schooler. He'll be back next year.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a good player. By the way,
we got a quarterback, a cornerback, and a special teamer. Whoop-de freaking ding.
Yep, exactly. That's how bad the state of affairs is.
And yet you want to fire the coach. We can't even come up with 10 keepers on a 50-plus man roster, and you want to fire the effing football coach. Maybe we need to talk about Elliott Wolf. That's the issue. That's the biggest question mark in all of New England. I have more confidence in Gerard Mayo right now than Elliott Wolf, because Elliott Wolf, and I've been beating this drum since like August, Elliott Wolf's offseason gets worse by the day.
Oh, it is. His offseason is
how off was it?
It is a hunk of blue cheese that has been left outside for months.
I'm not sure it started out as blue cheese. It was just plain old cheddar that now you're like, is this blue cheese? Maybe.
It is rotted. Animals have
to go back in the cave with your cheese.
The wrappers have blown across the yard. It's like even the animals won't. It is bad.
Yeah, the rat is like, what the hell is this? I ain't eating this. That garbage over there I can dive into.
The saddest state of affairs that I just told you, I thought I could name 10 keepers from the 2024 Patriots roster, and you said can't name them. And we both couldn't get past the laughter of punter, special teamer, cornerback, and quarterback. Yeah. I mean, guy. Yeah, Elliott, like we both liked Elliott Wolf. We both had all this confidence and faith in him. Yes. And right now, it's bad. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Hey, you can't list White twice.
Friend of the podcast, Jeff Stenberg, Andy's #1 best buddy online. He says Christian Barmore, Keon White, Brendan Schooler, Christian Gonzalez, Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, Anthony Jennings, Bryce Behringer, Mike Onwenu. That's 9. Who else are you putting in?
Well, he listed White twice. That's how he gets 10.
That's what he gets.
No, and I can make arguments like Onwenu has not played up to his contract. Onwenu has not been good.
But they're not going to eat that money.
I can make an argument against everybody on that list not named Gonzalez, May, and Schooler. Ramondre's underperformed. Ramondre has not been great. Jennings is a good, solid player, but is he a quote-unquote keeper?
Are we keeping all right, you know what? I'll add Marcus Jones into that mix.
Okay, he's fine. What position is he playing? Because at corner, I think he's a stinker more than a keeper.
Yeah, but he is great on returns, and maybe they should use him on offense a little more.
Wait, he plays offense? Let me Google him.
Why don't you text him? Why don't you?
New phone, who dis?
Hey, listen, if things were okay, you could say David Andrews. I'm not sure. David Andrews has missed 2 full seasons in the last 6 due to injuries as well. He's on the other side of 30. Yeah.
He's the Bill Belichick of centers. I like him, but he's old.
Yeah. We'll see we'll see if Cole Strange. This could be an audition stretch for Cole Strange. This could be an audition stretch for Caden Wallace to prove that he's the right tackle now that he's come back to practice and they've activated his 21-day return window from IR. These 4 games are more than just entertainment and something to talk about in the end of the season to see Drake May. This is it's huge for Mayo, obviously. It's massive for Wolf, and it's huge for all of these guys as well. Yes, we all know Parcells went 5-11 in his first season. Bill Belichick went 5-11 in his first season as well. I understand that. Now you play 17 games. They sit at 3-10. I have a feeling 4-13 is probably a best case scenario, but maybe they get to 5-12, Andy.
They're going to go 2-2.
Little Chuck Woolery, 2-2.
No chance. The late great.
Oh yes.
Dead, you know.
I booked him for the podcast, but he won't be.
That'd be a good get.
He won't be making his guest spot.
That'd bump up the feed a little bit. We got a dead guy on the telecast.
Weekend at Woolery's. I'll rename the podcast if that'll get us ratings.
If you want to compare keeper lists from the 2000 Patriots to the 2024 Patriots, go ahead.
Yeah, please.
Because the keeper list in 2000 is Team Hall of Famers.
Okay, Nathan Bates, who is watching live on YouTube right now as we record the latest Six Rings podcast. Hunter Henry, definitely come. Okay, so we got guys, we did it. We went full Spinal Tap. This one goes to 11. We did it.
I didn't sign off on all of the 10. I don't sign off. And Jabril Peppers.
Now, see, he needs things. He's a key. He's coming back before Kyle Duggar comes back because you need a safety, Andy.
You just gave Kyle Duggar $55 million.
58.
And Jabril Peppers might be in the pokey.
That's what I'm saying. If he is exonerated, yeah. See, I'd resign. Okay, you know what? I would. I'm not bringing back Duggar necessarily, but I would resign Hooper.
Okay,
if you can I get 12?
Hooper,
can I get 12?
No. If you consider Hooper a keeper, it means your team blows. He's a nice journeyman veteran tight end. But if you're telling me
he leads the team in touchdown receptions,
and he's a journeyman veteran tight end, your team stinks.
Yeah, I know that. You know that. We all know that.
I'm just making sure people. Oh, you know who you could put on this list if we really want to keep is Juwan Bentley.
Yeah,
he's hurt, but not out of sight, not out of mind.
No, I mean, but we've all seen exactly how important he was to this team because nobody else can freaking tackle.
Should I bring this to the afternoon show?
Absolutely.
Christian Arkian, can you come up with 10 Patriots players you want to keep?
I think this is a great
with
topic. This will chew
clock.
up. Oh, with a clock.
Like
That's make a game of it
in under 60 seconds. 60 too long. 45 seconds. How long should I give him?
No, give him a minute.
A minute. Okay.
You get a minute.
I like it.
Yep. You can have Dan Ball set the clock. He'll keep it up. Time's up.
Ball washing time.
Oh, there we go. I'd do it. I would absolutely do it as well. So, all right. So to wrap up this first leg of the podcast, you believe Jerod Mayo isn't coaching for his singing for his supper or coaching for his 2025 New England existence. I agree. We're in lockstep on that. It's a dangerous podcast when you and I are hive mind on something. But that Elliott Wolf, if there is anybody, I mean, you say some coaches could be coaching for their job as well. Jeremy Springer, I think, is back.
It's a lock that there are significant changes on the coaching staff.
Okay. Put it out there right now. It's at the 19-minute mark of the podcast. Go ahead. Tyler Hughes, wide receivers coach. That'll do.
Oh, don't so flippantly toss people to the curb.
I'm just saying. I had a guess. I said he's a person. I know they do. I know. My guess is the wide receivers coach would possibly be one.
I think the wide receivers coach could be gone. I think the offensive line coach could be gone. I think Ben McAdoo could be gone. I think DeMarcus Covington could be gone.
Oof. Wow. And is Elliott Wolf safe?
Yes. I think he's safe, and I am very much concerned about that.
What do you say, Pats fans? Can you name 10 players in a minute or less that you believe are keepers for the 2025 season? Are you most concerned for Jerod Mayo coaching for his life, Elliott Wolf organizing a team for his life, or any other coaches and coordinators? Holler at us anytime. He's at Jumbo Hart. I'm at Fitzy GFY. And thanks as always for subscribing to, listening to, and sharing the at Six Rings pod. All right. So this whole Belichick thing, Have you finally come on board with it? Like, do you like this yet?
Do I like it for
Yes.
entertainment value? Yeah,
Mhm.
because I think it would be a train wreck of epic proportions. Uh,
What? You
oh yeah,
think this is gonna be a train wreck?
I'm
Oh,
I'm with
wow, okay, finally we disagree again. Good. Now we're back
afternoon
in the
show guest Ross Tucker said he believes Bill Belichick might be the worst college football coach in the history of the game if it came to fruition. Um, and I don't understand it at all. Um,
Wow.
I don't. That's a great question. What does McAdoo do? And that's why I think he's going to be out of a job because I don't think that anyone really knows what he
No,
does.
legitimately, he needs to sit down with the Bobs, and the question should be, all puns aside, what would you say you McAdoo around here?
Yep. And he's like, good point. I'll see myself out.
I'll side you I'll
Appreciate it.
I'll do the, Grandpa Simpson, except I'm not gonna come back in the
Yep.
door of Moe's.
Yep. Appreciate the year's salary. No, the
By the
Belichick
way,
thing.
side note, real quick, I just feel like saying this to you because I haven't talked football with you in a week. Jamar Chase might be the best wide receiver currently in the NFL, and maybe that I've seen since Jerry Rice or prime Randy Moss. Also, Randy Moss, get well soon.
He's in that
Holy
world. He's absolutely in that
holy
world.
smokes, is this guy good? How is
Yeah.
he open on every play?
No, the bigger question is, how do you have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and a losing record like they do and lose every game? Like
Oof.
it is, and they should have lost again. They
Yep.
should have lost that game.
Cooper rushed all over the place. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But
Oh,
and
and
that's
that
also why
special teamer, my God.
I adjusted the Andy Hart plan to if any way you can create idiocy within Mike Brown's brain and he would trade you for your first round pick, Jamar Chase, so you can hand him $150 million, I would.
Zero
Oh my
chance.
God.
The way Joe, like
Oh.
in this life, Andy, you need to find you someone who looks at you the same way that Joe Burrow looks at Jamar Chase.
Hey,
I
I'll
mean,
take Joe Burrow too. Would you trade the number one pick in Drake May for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase?
and 3 more number 1 picks, yes.
I would just do it straight up. I'll take Burrow and Chase. You take
Mhm.
May and the number one pick.
Wow, that's cost cut. It's a very Bengals move. Would I do that? Yes.
I would do it in a heartbeat. And I love Drake May, but I also love me some Joe Burrow, who has an employee who had to call in the fact that their house was being robbed, and the employee's a really hot SI swimsuit model.
All right. We have some live comments. Mac Brown was considered too old, too washed at Texas, and it worked for a while at UNC. Bill has better name recognition and more freedom than Mac will have at UNC. It is the perfect spot for Bill to body bag the haters. So some are already believing that this is a great comeback story for Belichick. Okay, NFL, you didn't want me. Watch what I do in the ACC. I'll turn it into the SEC. We'll be a Big 10 or it's Big 18 at this point now. I'll turn this program around. I'll deal with the NIL. I'll make this place a destination for college football, which is now basically a pro sport. I agree with Mike Lombardi. It's the number 2 sport in this country by miles. It is basically a professional sport at this point. I think Belichick transitioning there presents a new challenge for him. I'm with you on the idea that it would. This is Scheim's big point. Wouldn't Belichick love to walk out having been only the 4th coach ever to win a Super Bowl and a college national championship, which could be on the table? You saw the way the college football playoff committee chose their teams, SMU getting in over Alabama. Like, this is a merit-based, earned, random opportunity now. I think
this makes sense because of the playoff system, because North Carolina can absolutely get in. I think that is one of the things that's been most overplayed in this story is like, oh, it's a crappy college football program. It's a basketball school. No, it isn't. I mean, it's a basketball school, but it's in this world.
There's a lot of pros at UNC from playing in the NFL, Andy.
I mean, the best quarterback in the NFL went to North Carolina. The best defensive player in the history of football went to North Carolina. Yeah, that was Drake May I was talking about. Sniff.
Wow.
Wow. Certainly wasn't Mitchell Trubisky I was referencing.
You like Sam Howell that much?
Nope, wasn't Sam Howell. I probably should clarify that comment. No, so the reason I think it wouldn't work is Belichick's made some really bad decisions in recent years involving young offensive players. Now you're telling me in a world that is run by young offensive players, college football is all about quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, young offensive players. That's how you win in college football. Everybody knows it. Defense is dead.
Unless you're Michigan.
Well, yeah, but even they had a running back and a quarterback that both were high quality NFL prospects. So, and kids want to have fun, make money, live a wild life in college football right now. They want to be the Colorado world. They don't want to be the Belichick world where he craps all over him for 2 hours a day, 4 days a week. And
but what if
no
he changes his POV? What if all of a sudden
I don't think he can.
doesn't
I don't
go
think he
full
will.
coach? I don't
You
know.
think he's going to suddenly be Pete Carroll? Woo! Love it out here, guys. Let's go. Where else would we rather be, guys?
Maybe Jordan, insert her last name or face here. Maybe his girlfriend is like, put a shit. Look at him.
What?
He's showing up in tuxedos on red carpets. He's doing Halloween costume. He's doing cosplay
as F in doing it. And he can't fake it. When he gets in his football world and he starts spinning the damn whistle back and forth, he's going to revert to his old ways because he's an old dog and he's not learning new tricks. And I don't care how much staff he has around him and a GM to recruit and all these positions that he's going to force down North Carolina's throat. I don't think it would work. And, I joked on the radio yesterday. He can't draft wide receivers. You're going to tell me he can pick high school wide receivers and he's going to have these stud wide receivers at UNC? Nope.
And they've got some decent wide receivers down there. Last Josh Downs, Tez Walker.
He didn't get them. Every NFL team, everybody on the planet finds decent receivers these days if you're not named Bill Belichick. He hasn't found a decent receiver in forever. He swings and misses at the position that you could argue is as important as any not named quarterback at the college level.
Andy, I have a question for you, but this is actually a very good question from a viewer on Twitter right now, Vincent Not Brisby. I'm here for all the Vincent Brisby talk. So does Belichick returning to the NFL, would that start his Hall of Fame clock for the pros? Yes. That would start. That would activate his Pro Football Hall of Fame clock. Yes.
If he goes back to the NFL?
No. If he goes to UNC, then his
then he can go in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that activates the 5-year clock for him.
No, it's not. It's 1 year. If he doesn't coach in the NFL next year, he will be on the Hall of Fame ballot.
Ooh.
They lowered it for coaches, contributors, whatever that category is.
Because they get old. Okay.
So that's if he doesn't coach in the NFL this year, he'll be going in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I assume, unless they hold some Robert Kraft.
I mean, what are we doing if you don't?
I don't know. I'm just saying I'll leave the 1% chance, but otherwise, yes. First,
the other question I had. So, did I hear mention? So obviously Patricia will go with him because Patricia is his Mr. Wolf, his right-hand man.
Yeah.
Ben McDaniels, is this Josh's brother? What does he do?
He recommended the Patriots take Lawrence Maroney in the first round back in the day because he was the running backs coach at Minnesota.
So he's going to go help.
No, he's got college experience. I think he was on Josh's staff. I forget where he is right now. He's coaching, I believe, in the NFL right now. I think he might be on Houston's staff. Give me a Ben McDonald Google and tell me he's on the Houston Texans.
Ben McDaniels, who looks like if Josh went on a bender for Ben McDaniels, American football coach, the wide receivers coach and pass game coordinator for the Houston Texans. Could he become the OC for BB at UNC? That would be interesting.
It would be interesting. But again, I think I still don't really know what to make of it because it went from me laughing it off as a PR stunt where both sides get a little attention to Bill gave them a 400-page document. And then The Athletic reported that they'd offered him the job and he was mulling the offer.
But now I've heard that he has said yes to it and that there's a 24-hour response window from UNC. So you should be on the air today. I'm betting you. This is Wednesday, December 11th. I bet you will be on the air and you will get the news drop. That will be awesome.
They're going to extend the window of negotiation. I think he's made I don't think it's real. I think he's made such outrageous demands that he'll take the job if they bow to all his demands. But he thought the demands were so outrageous, no one would.
Is he got a yacht? Is he going to get a helipad? I mean,
I wouldn't surprise me if there were things of that nature, like a freaking rock star rider.
Why not? You're Bill freaking Belichick. Whip it all out on the table. No shame. Ooh, good question, Jeff Stenberg. Does Burge leave Bill O'Brien at BC for Bill down at UNC? I got to say, spend some time down there. Andy, Triangle area, the Raleigh-Durham area.
Oh, yeah.
They're very nice.
It's a beautiful place. It's a great
school. Blue blood, so
they
preppy. Belichick's
awesome apparel. Everybody looks good in Carolina blue.
Have you seen their redone? Like the stadium is nothing to write home about. Have you seen their facilities with all the Jump Man and Michael Jordan money that's been poured in there?
It's tremendous. I don't know if Bears would leave. I would advise him not to because I think Billy O will be at BC longer than Bill Belichick would be at UNC.
Guys, Bill O'Brien coaching against Bill Belichick next year. Sign me up. Where's the game? It'll be at UNC. We're already.
I don't know how
there,
they
Hart.
do their scheduling, but if they want to do it NFL style and have like a fun opener, that should be one of their opening weekend games. BC and UNC. Absolutely.
I'm going. I'm 100%. I am so
I'm
in
going.
on this.
I'm going. You can't stop me. I'm going.
I'm going. Who else is going? Any of you listeners going?
Bears, can you
Let's
get me
go.
tickets? Feels like it might be a pricey.
It's going to be a scene down there. College Game Day will be down there the first week.
Yeah, Nick Saban will be talking about his buddy who, Nick Saban, who quit college because the system is so effed up and against the way he won, is now his best buddy who's never coached in college wants to get into college. It makes perfect sense.
But if Bill can get in there and do what Saban said was the impossible, doesn't that just add to his already storied?
I think that's his plan. I think it'll crash. Oh, no doubt. I said this yesterday. I don't know if you're familiar with Scouting Principles or whatever the book is Steve Belichick wrote, his dad, in like the 50s. That was widely considered the Bible of football scouting for decades. Beautiful. I think Bill is trying to do a similar thing with this, whatever he called it, the Bill Belichick Bible of an organization. I think he's trying to put his stamp, because Andy is such a phony. He's shitting. Excuse me.
All right.
Work. He'll be the first one ordering 75 different. Oh, I like Carolina visors. And
I'm telling you, think
making it work is irrelevant to me. What do I give a rat's ass whether Carolina?
If you guys think there's a lot of Carolina garbage
Jeff
in New England. All right, now we're getting salty. Probably time to wrap up. But if you think there's a lot of Carolina blue gear in New England now with some Drake May throwback jerseys around, just imagine how many more UNC football jerseys you'll see around New England once Belichick goes. And also, Pats fans, listen to this. Here's what happens if Bill Belichick takes the job. You're off the hook. You don't have to. You can miss him all you want. Oh, wait, you don't have to. Now you get to watch Belichick coach every week. Oh, no, you don't have to worry about Bill Belichick coaching the Raiders or the Bears or the Jags or whatever else, and faltering and then having that image of him sad and defeated in your eye. Or you don't have to see him take another team to the Super Bowl like Brady went with Tampa, tearing you apart emotionally.
3-8 in the ACC.
It's not going to happen, Andy. It's not going to happen. All right,
guaranteeing that to me?
All right, ready? Here we go. 32-minute and 20-second mark. I am betting you a case of Narragansett. Bill Belichick has a winning record his first year coaching UNC football.
Well, what's going to happen when he doesn't even go to UNC football?
Then the bet's off.
Oh, well, if he goes, as he likes to say,
if he goes,
he will have a losing record in his first year.
Okay. All right. That is you, audience. You heard it right there. Case against it. Ooh, I can already taste it. Hi, neighbor. All right. Two questions that 10-second answers. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, with the way Sam Darnold has played and the connections he's established with all these receivers and is working so well with KOC, do you trade JJ McCarthy this offseason? Just a fun football question. Yeah.
No, because I clearly loved JJ McCarthy. And in the long term, whatever Sam Darnold is, it's better for the org. If I know what I'm doing and I trust Kevin O'Connell and he knows quarterbacks and he wanted JJ McCarthy as his franchise quarterback, no, I keep JJ McCarthy, the young guy on the rookie contract and the bright future.
And Sam Darnold is still pretty young. Like, could you get signed?
No, he is, but
do you sign him and trade him? Do you start him next season and then trade him? Do you see if you can do a sign?
I honestly don't know what to do with him. Like, I very rarely say I have no idea. I have no effing idea what I would do, because that's a tough situation.
All right. And your last question. I proposed this yesterday on the quick update pod. So Mason Graham, the defensive tackle out of Michigan, has announced that after his junior season, he's going to leave and go to the pros. If you're the Patriots and you don't love McMillan and nobody is coming up for a quarterback, even though you've got some solid players on defense, if Mason Graham's available 4th or 5th overall, because Drew Rosenhaus said he expects him to go top 5, would you take him? I would.
He is widely projected as a top 5 pick. If you can't trade down, I would take whoever the best player available is. I've said this team, we just did the exercise. Let's come full circle here. There's 2 real keepers on this team. They have 2 blue chip players, a cornerback and a quarterback. This team needs more blue chippers. So whether it's a wide receiver, an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, a cornerback, an edge rusher, because there's a Michigan corner that people like up in the draft there too. Whoever you believe the best player available is on the board, and I know Fitzy, you want it to be Genty. You want it to be the running back.
I would now if we trade back and I would take
What if he's the
Ashton.
best on the board at 3?
He's not going to be the best on the board at 3.
What if
he's
you believe
like
he's the best?
he's going to go in the Josh Jacobs. He'll go higher than Josh Jacobs, but he still won't go high. He'll go in the 10.
went 2.
Yeah, he's not. He's different than Saquon.
He's not
damn good,
Saquon.
though.
I agree with you. He's not.
But
Saquon.
is he a difference maker on a team that needs some explosive dynamics? Absolutely.
But yes, in
I love that kid.
the back to the main question, the best player available is who they should take if they can't trade down.
100%. I agree with you. By the way, the college football playoffs are going to be awesome. I'm so
yes.
I
just
am
realized that Saturday. It's like game.
Wait. I'll share it with everyone, and then we got to go because I know we both have places to drive, things to do, etc. So for everyone who isn't unaware of what it's going to be, I think my tweet was that it's going to be one hell of a winter solstice. Saturday, December 21st, the football games on the 21st include, if I'm not mistaken, football from 12. It's football from 12 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And the games also include, I'm sorry, everyone, hold on one second. Here we go. We'll wrap it up on this. The solstice will include football games starting at noontime. And I can't find the damn tweet. This sucks. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay. 12 o'clock on TNT, SMU at Penn State, 1 o'clock on NBC, Texans at Chiefs, 4 o'clock on TNT, Clemson at Texas, 4:30 on Fox, Steelers at Ravens, 8 o'clock on ABC, Tennessee at Ohio State. Andy, there's a chance that might be the greatest day of televised football in history.
It's going to be quite enjoyable, and I will be sitting my fat ass, not so fast, thanks to my friends at Awaken 180, my slimmer ass.
Right, they're not
on
sponsoring the punch. Can't wait myself.
I'm bought and paid for, baby, because look at this. Looking good, lean, mean, fight machine.
I should have ended 2 minutes ago. All right.
Yep,
There's your latest Six Rings pod. We'll be back in a couple days, folks. You can always listen to Andy and Arkan.
Yeah, on the afternoon show. How do you guys like it?
I'm fired up. I don't know about you guys.
2 to 6 every day. I'll be back with some more pods. If Hart can't make it, we'll find some other quality co-hosts to keep the Six Rings dream alive, everybody. Thanks for listening. As always, he's at Jumbo Hart. I'm at Fitzy GFY. This has been your latest and greatest Six Rings and Football Things pod. Make sure you tell your friends, listen, subscribe, share, and all that jazz. Happy holidays. Take care. And as always, go Pats.